I now have 3 subscribers. Thank you for being here. I'm very flattered. So, we recently moved to Bergen, me and my boyfriend and our 2 cats. And my boyfriend isn't going to be in this video, even though he's in the thumbnail, because he has a real job to do. And his promotion is actually the reason why we moved here. But here's a portrait I painted of him, so he can be a little bit in the video anyway. So we have lived in Trondheim 4 years before this, and as an artist, I have obviously been working various random jobs like cleaning, waitressing, and retail. Most recently, I worked at a flower shop and a gardening store, which was honestly wonderful, even though I hate work generally. But obviously, I want to do my own thing, and I finally started my own company. And I wrote a book, made a podcast, and quit my job finally. And now I'm here on YouTube, and it's pretty typical, really. Lots of people are doing this right now. Since I work from home, it wasn't a problem for me when my boyfriend wanted to find a better job and included other cities in his search. Finally, he landed something really neat over here in Bergen, and over Christmas, we finally decided on the time and date that we would move and started just putting stuff in boxes. And it has honestly been super exhausting and stressful, and I don't know how to express that enough because I absolutely hate moving, and I have moved around way too much in my adult life. And because he knew how stressful it would be, we agreed that we should use a moving company this time, just to get some stress reduction, because previously I have always been the one to carry all of the things and driving all the way. And our last move, I drove 13 hours, and it was quite literally a pain in the bottom. And I'm so happy that I didn't have to drive this time, because we had a record amount of snowfall, and I would have had to drive across the mountains, and it just seemed super scary. So we simply paid someone else to do that, and I feel so privileged to have been able to pay someone else to do something. Never really done that before. And there was actually so much snow that the movers had to dig out our driveway to be able to get the truck to the door so that they could load all the stuff onto it. So, yeah, it was a lot of snow, which has rained away now because that quickly turned into a record amount of rain. But it was really an eye opening experience to actually see how much stuff we have. It was a little bit embarrassing, even because, like, who needs all this? Like, do I actually need all this stuff? Which is why I'm also now doing a no buy here, which also is a very popular thing to do on YouTube. At least I'm trying to, because I just thought that this is absolutely ridiculous and we should try to make more use of the things that we already have. And a lot of these things are actually supplies for my skincare business, so I can't actually go without a bunch of this. But and if I do run out of some of it, I will have to refill and restock. But I will try my best to not buy anything unnecessary this year. At least not buying anything for myself personally, because it would just turn into clutter anyway, right? So I was super relieved to finally see the empty apartment, being able to see the floor, you know. And we did also pay for cleaners to come and clean up after we had gone, which was awesome. And it felt honestly so luxurious to be able to do that. Like I said, I have always been the one to do everything myself previously, and I have also worked as a cleaner myself. So I was just super happy to be able to leave without scrubbing the floors. And I had no idea life could be so easy if you had just had money to solve all your problems with. And we're definitely not rich or anything, but we're just about able to afford doing things the easy way this time around. So it was a huge relief. I mean, just packing and organizing everything, as well as the traveling with the cats, was exhausting and stressful enough as it was. And I did get some pretty serious back pain from lifting and moving around all the boxes when I was packing. And yeah, I was just super grateful to at least not having to drive there and not having to clean up afterwards. It was huge thank you to the people who did that. So the flight to here, it was honestly really smooth. I was surprised at how well behaved the cats were. And we did have a really nice view of the mountains as we went. You almost couldn't really see where the clouds started and the mountains ended, so that was super cool. Now all that's left is some more unpacking, and we're actually waiting for some furniture to show up so that we can unpack the last few boxes, because we need bookshelves. I'm not going to just let my books sit in a pile on the floor. And we're also getting a couple of desks so that we can both do our work in peace, and I can probably set up a real studio. And yeah, the cats seem really happy about the place. They really enjoy having a corridor that they can run up and down, and I think everything in here just feels really new and fresh, and been renovated pretty recently. And the owners are obviously rich people, but they do seem nice. Most importantly, they are allowing me to make use of their garden. And the garden actually has a greenhouse, so I now have a greenhouse to work in. More about that in the next video. I actually found a pretty amazing surprise in there. And I have already done some gardening, even though it's still January. But like I said, all the snow already rained away. So I was able to, put some flower bulbs and tulips and these kinds of things in the garden. So I am guessing that if you clicked on this video, you probably wanted to see some of Bergen and not listen to me complain about how stressed and exhausted I am from moving here. That's probably not the most interesting part of the video. To be honest, I haven't had the time or energy to do a whole lot of sightseeing, but it is a very nice town, and I have documented what I could. And it seems like there's a lot of culture here, and nightlife, and cafes, and obviously a lot of history too. I mean, it's a very old city, and I already went and saw a pretty interesting art exhibition here, because there's a lot of art stuff around here, which I really appreciate. There's also a really cute museum area around here, and it's called Old Bergen, or Gamle Bergen. It's basically a part of the town that has been completely preserved as it was a couple of hundred years ago. And it also seemed like they have local theater and other events there in the summer. And it was full of cute ducks. I did see someone feed the ducks with bread, which you should not do ideally. They can get a stomach problem from that, and it's better to give them, for example, peas or cucumbers, or even watermelon is better than bread. Side note, don't give bread to ducks, please. Anyway, this is very much the kind of city that fills with tourists in the summer, so I've been really happy that I was able to walk around freely and not getting stuck in crowds. Another place that I went when there was still snow here within the first few days that we had moved is a historical place called Fantoft. It's a church and it was built in the old style, the stavkirke. It's basically the way that the Vikings built. I use the term Vikings pretty freely here. Obviously, everyone wasn't a Viking. Viking was more like a job that you did. Another cool place that you can see in Bergen is this little mountain or hill, which is called Fløyen, and it has a tram going up to the top of the hill, and you can get a really amazing view from there, a panoramic view of the entire city. And of course, when we were up there, it was rainy, so you couldn't see as much. But I bet it's even better on a day with good weather. You can probably see really far out on the ocean. And if you're up for that, you can also walk up there. It's probably a very nice hike, and I will most likely do that later on at some point when I have the chance, because I'm still kind of trying my best to settle in and get things organized, which is slow going, but we're making progress. And also, I'm putting together a video of the garden currently. So I will see you next time. Have a lovely day.